If this message speaks to you, don't just like it, pass it on. Share it directly with someone who needs to hear it, because messages like this don't always reach everyone they should. Thank you and enjoy. There was once a village built on stolen bricks. The hands that laid the stones were not free. The songs that rose in the fields were not sung in joy, but in endurance. For 200 years, the harvest fed everyone except the ones who planted. When freedom finally came, the village leaders said, "It is finished. The past is the past. Begin again." But the freed hands had no land, no coin, no oxen, no seed. The very men who had owned them were given new loans, new fields, new rights. The freed were given nothing. Some say that debt is old. Time has washed it away. But the history reminds them, if a thief steals your house and passes it to his children and then to theirs, the roof still covers their heads. The debt is not washed. It is carried forward. Some say you already received payment, charity, welfare, handouts. But the history answers. Charity is a gift. Reparations is repair. If I break your leg and later give you bread, does the bread set the bone? Some say others have suffered too. And the history nods, yes. Others have tasted bitterness, but who else was written into law as 3/5 of a man? Who else was banned from owning land, learning letters, passing wealth by blood? Who else was redlined by maps, locked out of banks, denied the GI Bill, taxed by lynching ropes and police batons? Some say, but immigrants thrive, Nigerians, Chinese, Jamaicans, Indians, and the history reminds them. The newcomers carried their degrees, their trades, their seed corn. They entered a system already built, even if harsh. But the descendants of the stolen had their seed burned, their degrees outlawed, their houses redlined in ink, and even those newcomers, after a generation, find the same walls rising against their children's names. Some say slavery here was gentle compared to elsewhere, but the history shakes its head. Chains are chains. Even if you polish them, they bind. And what makes this place different is not just the slavery, but the laws that followed, the black codes, Jim Crow, convict leasing, the urban renewal bulldozers, the red lines drawn across maps like scars. The chains changed shape, but they never left. Some say the money is gone, slave wealth is dust, but history points. See the banks that insured slave ships? See the railroads laid by captive hands? See the universities that taught sons on profits from bondage? The coins did not vanish, they compounded. They became steel, oil, mortgages, and hedge fund. They became the skyscrapers we still live under today. Some say justice stirs anger. Better to choose peace. But history answers. Peace without justice is a mask. True peace grows only when the wound is cleaned, stitched, and healed. Otherwise, infection spreads, and the fever never leaves the land. Some mock by saying, "Go back to Africa." History laughs sadly. Our bones are buried here. Our blood watered these fields. We built the roads you ride and the walls you hide behind. This land is as much ours as yours, for we paid for it in labor and in life. And some sneer, beggars, handouts, black privilege. But history asks, if I take your wages for 400 years, am I a benefactor? If I finally let you keep one day's pay? Or am I still a thief until I restore what I stole? And then try some politics. It was the Democrats, not the Republicans. Sue them instead. But history replies, parties are garments worn by the same body. It was the states, the banks, the courts, the Congress, the White House, the laws of this nation, not just one color of coat, that wrote the theft into stone. So, how does history end? Reparations is not charity. Reparations is not welfare. Reparations is not a gift. It is the unpaid bill for centuries of labor, land, and lives. It is the difference between being given bread after a broken leg and being given the surgery to walk again. Until that bill is faced, the village will always walk with a limp, pretending it is healed, while the wound still bleeds beneath the bandage. If you're still here, thank you for hanging out this long. Please hit the like and subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that I can bring you more content like this.